On today's episode, we're making a very easy lace tank summer cover-up.
DadSews! 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 This is how it goes with DadSews!
Greetings, sociopaths. As always, I truly appreciate you stopping by here. Well, today we have a fun summertime project for you. My daughter is getting ready to turn 10, and she has always worn one-piece bathing suits because she likes to fully cover up and doesn't really like wearing bikinis, but she's noticed her friends have started wearing bikinis, and she's a little more modest. Well, that's her way, so I want to help her out by making a cool cover-up. Now, I saw this first on trashcouture.com, and it's a really cool project, and I thought it'd be really neat to do with either recycled materials or things you can find at the thrift store. Now, I found this awesome Beach Girl tank at the thrift store, and I've got this great purple lace to go with it. This should be an easy project, one you can mess up if you're using used materials or cheap materials. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, now this shirt is actually too big for my daughter. It's an XL girls or young women's, but it should serve our purposes perfectly. It should cover from her shoulders down to her bottom bathing suit area. Now you're gonna want to take your trusty Fiskar Shears, nice and sharp, lifetime warranty, love them. And we're gonna want to cut along the side seam of our garment. All right, just be very careful. Now this will be a little bit hidden. According to the plan that I saw, like I noted in the front of the episode, everything we do at DadSews is for the first time, no practice. So you get to see all of my glory or all of my misery if we make mistakes, right? Because we're doing it for the first time together. All right, so got that done. All right, so basically you're just opening your tank top like that. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side and then we'll cut some lace. All right, now it's time to cut our lace. So I'm gonna take my trusty Fiskar rotary tool here, make sure the safety is not engaged. How many times have you tried cutting with this thing and then realized the safety was on? I'm gonna put the lace on my mat. I'm gonna move over 1, 2, 3, 4 inches. Then we'll take our ruler there. See, 1, 2, 3, 4 inches on our mat. And then we're just going to want to cut along there. Now I have doubled up my fabric enough that I'm gonna get 2 pieces, one for each side. Now your piece of lace is gonna wanna run all the way up here on the shirt and all the way back. So just make sure that you have enough to do that on both sides of your shirt. All right, let's start pinning it. All right, we have our lace, we have our shirt. Now we're just gonna start pinning. Now I'm actually going to start pinning this to the front of the shirt, as you can see here. So let's move that up and let's lay our lace right down there. Now this has been cut to length for my shirt, and it's just gonna go up here and all the way up the arm and back down again, okay? So just be very methodical and slow and pin your lace. Now, your lace may be a little bit thicker than what I'm using. The t-shirt might be a little thicker. Maybe you're using cotton, not knit. So all of that is going to change how many times you're gonna wanna pin it, whether you need to be careful about not stretching it while you pin. And just go along carefully and make sure you get all of the edges pinned properly. Okay, I'm gonna zip through this with some movie magic and then we'll be right back and ready to start sewing. All right, now that everything is pinned in place, we're just gonna move over to our sewing machine. I'm gonna use a zigzag stitch because I think that'll hold everything together a little better with this delicate lace and knit shirt. Now, once you start, as always, don't forget to back stitch. Luckily with my Juki, I can just press the back of my pedal and it back stitches for me as I've programmed it to do. Or I can do things like cut thread when I step on the back of the pedal, which is super cool. Just go ahead and move slow. Don't pull too much on your material, especially if you're using knit, but guide it through. Let your machine do most of the work, and don't forget to pull your pins out as you go. I'm gonna move a little faster now. Maybe don't follow that example. Just make sure you're careful. I'm gonna go ahead and go all the way around this edge, and then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna chat about how we connect the sides. All right, I know what you're saying. Christian, you don't sew on top of the garment. You've totally screwed this up. This is gonna be a sew, fail, repeat. Well, it's not, because if you look here, there's the top of my garment, or the right side, and there's where I sewed. And as you flip this over, ooh, look at that. You don't see the seam. All right, now we're gonna do the same thing to the other side, all right? And then we're gonna talk about how we attach everything to make sleeves on this awesome summertime cover-up. Well, we're in the home stretch. I just rethreaded my machine with white thread. I don't have a light lavender or light purple to match this lace, but that's okay. We're just gonna roll with it, right? So we have our shirt out. We have the lace on both sides. You see how lovely that looks. Now let's go ahead and turn this bad boy inside out. All right, there we go. Now we're going to line up our lace. Let's see if we can get this straight. Now, the straighter you cut, the straighter it's gonna be. Yes, the cutting is important. All right, and we're just gonna line it up just like this, all right? And then we're going to sew that together. Now, you're going to want to leave this area open. That's your sleeve area, and you can determine how thick you want that or how deep you want that sleeve. But I'm just gonna do what I think is the smart and easy thing and stop right around this line. Now, you can pin or you can use Wonder Clips. And again, if you want a great deal on Wonder Clips, just click the link below, dadsews.com/wonderclips, and that's about the best price I've ever found for them. So we're just gonna pin this together, and then we're gonna sew along this lace, all right? I'm gonna start pinning, and then why don't you come back when we start sewing? All right, let's go ahead and start sewing. I went with a combination of a pin on the end, don't forget to backstitch, and then I went with Wonder Clips all the way up. I thought the pin kind of held it together very nicely right at the end, and then the Wonder Clips kind of are doing a great job holding the lace together as it's delicate and there's holes in it, and I think that there's plenty of room for the pins to slip when it's just in the lace. So one in the end, and then I went with Wonder Clips the rest of the way down. All right, now as you're getting closer to the point you want to stop, you have to make a decision. Are you just going to back stitch when it gets to that point, or are you going to sew across to make kind of a bottom sleeve area? I'm kind of two minds. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do, for you guys, one of each. One, I'm just going to stop and I'm gonna back stitch when it gets to the underarm part. And on the other sleeve, this sleeve, I'm gonna go ahead and sew all the way across to the end of the lace. That way I can decide which one I like best, and you guys can decide maybe which one you would like to try. All right. So we're getting right to that point where we're on the underarm. I think we're pretty close here. I'm gonna make sure my lace is straight. This is very delicate stuff, so just be slow, be methodical. And I think I've got it right there. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and sew up. Now I'm going to lift my foot up, but leave my needle down, and then I'm just going to sew my lace across till I get to this little underarm bit. Drop my foot and sew. Now I'm doing this because it's for my daughter, and I'm not really sure what the best way to do it for her is. So I want to make sure it's nice and strong and secure. All right, when we turn this right side out, you'll see what happens when you take a stitch and go alongside of the lace undersleeve. You have your lace insert here, which looks super cool, but that side stitch brings everything into a pinch right here. Now, that might actually be better for my daughter. I'm making it for my younger daughter, and this will keep everything a little tighter on her so it's not so swishy. But if we were not to do that, you would just have lace all the way up and down the sides. Now, you can do this either way, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and leave the pinch. I think it's gonna fit better for her. Let me go ahead and finish that, and I'm gonna show you some final pictures when we're done. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode. If you like the project, I'd really appreciate if you give a thumbs up, and more importantly, share with your friends on YouTube or Facebook. That really helps out Dad Sews and encourages sponsors to come give away awesome things, like our recent giveaway of a $250 Walmart gift card. We give away Juki sewing machines every time we reach a new 1,000 subscribers, and we love to give away other items to you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please check out one of my other videos, and if you make this project, I'd love for you to tag me on Instagram at DadSews. All right, don't forget my motto, sew, fail, repeat. I'll see you with a new video soon. Hey, I hope you liked that video. Be sure to click right here to subscribe, and you'll be instantly entered to win a free sewing machine. How cool is that? And click right here for another great video. Hey, it may be better than this one. Go on, I'll wait. Seriously, I have all day.